Government. What's a government dance? Hey guys! Welcome back to our channel. We are doing our tea time. That means grab a cup of your favorite tea and make sure you have time. And in today's episode, we'll be talking about our personal experience interning at the US Department of Commerce. Woohoo! So this is a topic that we were actually super excited about in sharing because it was definitely a very fun, very insightful internship and a very cool experience. Definitely working for the government. And so we're going to begin by first saying a little bit more about the internship program, how we did it, the process, who's allowed to apply, and things like that. So you ready, Kira?
Yes, let's go.
Let's go.
We have a lot to say.
Okay, so to begin, Olivia, she's gonna take over and let you know exactly what it is. So we got this information directly from the website, so please listen carefully. Okay, here we go. The internship is an unpaid internship with the opportunity to work in US embassies and consulates throughout the world, as well as in various bureaus located in Washington, D.C. and the United States. The program is designed to provide learning experiences in a foreign affairs environment. So there's actually a lot of participating offices, and that includes the Office of the Secretary, the Office of Policy and Strategic Planning, the Economic Development Administration, as well as the one Kira and I worked for, which was the International Trade Administration, also known as the ITA. And the ITA is a very large administration, but we worked specifically within the US Commercial Services. And just so you know, I'll be reading the next line, which is directly from the US Commercial Services website to give you guys an overview of exactly what it is. Okay, so the US Commercial Services is a trade promotion arm of the US Department of Commerce's International Trade Administration. US Commercial Services trade professionals are over in 100 different cities and more than 75 countries throughout the world, with the aim to assist US companies' imports and exports trade relations. So that means that because Kira and I are in Germany, we actually decided to apply to different US commercial service posts in Germany. To be more specific, we applied to the Frankfurt Consulate. So there's many different locations, Olivia said. So Frankfurt, Munich, Berlin, you can pick whichever one is closest to you. And we decided to do Frankfurt. So, well, it's actually not the closest, but it's the biggest one. And it's actually, fun fact, the biggest consulate in the whole world. Well, so, the US consulate. Very huge. It used to be an old prison. So that is why it's...
No, hospital.
Hospital. I forgot. Okay. An old hospital. So with the application process, the first thing you have to do is you have to be a student. Ding! So we are students. Students. So it works. Yes. And the type of student that you have to be is full-time intern. Yes, you have to be a full-time intern. And there's different other German positions, so you should watch our video on that. It'll be up here somewhere. You'll see the link. And the first thing that you have to do is you have to figure out, one, where exactly in the government do you want to work? What branch? There's many different types, as Olivia said. And then when you actually apply, the thing you have to do is go on their website, send an email. That's what we did. We sent an email. We were like, is there any positions available and open? And luckily enough, they will reply back and they'll say, yes, of course, please just send us your information. So they really want your resume. They want to know more about perhaps the time frame that you're interested in applying.
And that's very important.
That's very important because it takes a long time in advance. So think ahead if you do want to do this internship. And then the next thing is they should contact you and you should have an interview to see if you're fit. Right, Olivia?
That's right. And I guess I can explain a bit more about the interview since Kira brought it up. So after you send your thingy-majiggy away, they come back to your interview. They just want to see if like your values and your how you are as a person, your character matches what they're looking for in terms of being a cohesive team. And also because you'll be working with these people and you want to represent the US government in a way that they see fit.
Off that note, when we mean that they want to see if you fit, there are certain people that they will hire. So for example, you have to meet some qualifications on that, your profile. So the first is for us, we had to be German citizens. Just because they were looking for, German citizens. Another thing though, of course, you can come from the US and you can be an American citizen. You can even be an international.
But I think what's unique about our position in terms of applying is that because we are already in Germany, we applied this route, which was more, I think, a bit more simpler for Americans to get in.
Informal, just to email and see if there's something open.
But if you were from the US or anywhere internationally and you did want to apply to an internship position abroad with an embassy or consulate, the process is much more... I wouldn't say complex, but it's many more steps to do it because you are going to be an actual citizen they send abroad to represent in that embassy. But we were we're going like the other way around, basically.
Yes. So now that you basically have your location, they've interviewed you, you seem good, perfect.
You get an offer!
Placement offer. And then after that, it gets a little bit more complicated.
This is where the patience
comes in. So basically what you gotta do is you gotta get a background check. And that takes a while.
So you have to get an official background check. So even though you get the placement offer, it's not official. You'll get the offer, and then you have to pass the background check, which I would say is usually between 4 to 6 months, but I've heard that it can go up to 8 months or even longer.
Yeah, and in our case it went longer because we hit 2 of the criteria where it takes longer. The first criteria is being a dual citizen. The second criteria is actually that you've been abroad in other countries.
And since we are applying from abroad, that already automatically check mark. So but it did, we did wait, and it is a very long process of just waiting and being uncertain because, yes, you have an offer, but do you pass the security clearance or not?
So then after you pass your security check, you can officially start.
Yay!
Government. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, what's a government dance?
G, no? G?
I have a squeaky chair dance. Okay, so now we're going to be talking specifically a bit more about our personal experience working with the US Commercial Services.
And I just want to emphasize this is our experience alone, so each experience will be different.
Exactly, and because this is a government internship, we're not going to go into too much detail just because we had to pass the clearance.
And we don't want to get in trouble.
Exactly. I guess we can start with the time frame. So because we did start in the end of 2020, that means we were working during the time of Corona. And so as you can imagine, our internship was online. So it was a virtual internship. And we've been told that it's actually a virtual internship is quite different in terms of the experiences that you have than versus in the office. But we'll give you a bit of insight more then about how the virtual internship was, right, Kira?
Yep, and it was really cool because you can really see then the adaptability, how the government and how the people in the government really are willing to compromise and really still have this program. Even, they don't have to have the program, but they want students to have this experience. So they're able to adapt it and still try to integrate you into this virtual environment.
And I think it was really interesting also just to see how the government adapted. How the teams adapted, what was able to happen, what wasn't able to happen. So a bit more about that is that normally we'd have lots of different trade events, a lot of different meetings we could attend in person, lots of diplomats we'd probably be able to meet. But because this was online, we were still able to do a lot of really interesting webinars and seminars.
Meet very cool people virtually.
And it's definitely still super rewarding, even though it wasn't in person. We learned a lot. I cannot emphasize it was really incredible.
Yeah.
And personally, it was one of my like little dream jobs when I was a kid. I was like, US diplomat. I was like, so yeah.
So the work was very dynamic, I must say that as well. So you don't do the same thing every day, and that is something that is also very cool because you really dive deep into the position, and also a deep dive, but like a widespread deep dive. You get really into everything, and I think that's really cool.
And also, I think it's really nice because they take into consideration your interests. So they ask you like, oh, what you want to learn, what you want to be involved in, and they try to integrate you, as Kira said, like specifically like wherever you kind of want to. So I definitely give yourself feedback and give them feedback. And
and it's all really about adaptability.
Exactly, and learning.
Because that is something that we're all doing during Corona.
But yeah, I would say the team environment is really fun. Lots of international.
A very interesting international experience. Because in my head, I would imagine, oh, it's going to be Germans and Americans. But actually, it's like really people from all over the world that are
working together to do this one mission.
Very cool.
It was really, really fun. And we can only emphasize, I think, that make the most of it. We definitely did. We made the most of the circumstances given. So definitely apply. And we will definitely put a lot of resourceful links in our videos. So check out the bottom as always.
Just apply. It's a great experience. And this reminds me though, we've had many great experiences this year, even though, this year has not been so great with everything going on. But in terms of our working environments, I do have something very interesting I would like to share maybe in another video.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
So I did get the opportunity to intern at Amazon. I would love to do another video on the process of that because that was an adventure.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Don't forget to leave any comments if you have any questions or concerns, or just give us a thumbs up.
And subscribe.
And don't forget to subscribe.
And I think that's tea time.
That's tea time.
That's tea time.
Cheers.
Cheers to green tea.